The Steam controller sold out in around 30 minutes, and what I'm holding here is actually a 3D printed version that was only made possible because Valve officially published the file. We will talk a little bit about that, but first let me give you my first impressions, and let's also do some size comparisons, shall we? Okay, so here is the 3D printed controller and puck. As you can see, the puck is pretty small, but even without the magnet, just from the design, there's this kind of upper lip here that locks really nicely in place like to the controller. I believe the grip is really comfortable. It's ergonomic. The thumbsticks are a bit far. This will get some getting used to for sure. I remember back when I got my Steam Deck, the experience was pretty similar because of the touchpads down here, right? If you're playing 2D games or retro games and you're not using the analog sticks at all, it is really comfortable, but to get to the analog sticks, it's like my hands are medium sized, I would say. If you have smaller hands, you'll probably struggle more. The triggers, their location, it feels natural coming from the Steam Deck and other game controllers. And these back buttons here, their placement is right at the grip. So I am a little bit worried that like during an intense action sequence or something, you might push them accidentally. But it really depends on how much force it takes to push the buttons. So that's something that we can only test with the real controller, right? But yeah, it looks almost exactly like we expected. But let's do some comparisons. So here I have a PS4 controller. As you can see, the Steam controller is pretty big in comparison. Regarding the analog sticks, I do enjoy the PS4 layout more. It feels more natural. Of course, it only has one touchpad here at the top. But disregarding the differences because of the touchpads, they are pretty similar, I would say. As you can see, if you look at them from the back, it doesn't seem so different. Now let's compare it to the Steam Deck. So the Steam Deck is a really beefy game device. Everybody who picks it up for the first time is like, wow, okay, this is larger than I expected. And you can see that the controller is like half, I would say, of the deck. As you can see, the touchpads on the controller are bigger. Apart from that, the design is pretty similar. They go along in terms of design languages somewhat. We can see some similarities when talking about the triggers. However, L1 and R1 do have a different shape. They stick out a little bit more as well. They'll probably be easier to press, I would say. So let's talk a little bit about the file that Valve released. So they released on their GitLab under a Creative Commons license. The link will be in the description. But they released the STLs, the license, the step files, and also technical drawings in PDF. And their goal is for the community to be able to make puck holders, because as I mentioned, the puck is pretty small. It's magnetic and all, but it's probably going to be nice to make some holders. Whatever we want to create. To be honest, this is one of the reasons that I love Valve. How can you not like this? They release the official files for the community to customize however we want. Because as with the Steam Deck, once you buy the controller, it is yours, so you can do whatever you like with it. But yeah, as you can see, we have the drawings. They even specified where the magnets are located. There are some instructions here, like keep area clear for mounting to the controller. We have the drawing for the controller itself as well. So the models are really detailed. We even got the message from Orca Slicer telling us that it might be a good idea to simplify the model. It already comes pre-oriented in the best way possible. This is not a very simple shape to print, I would say. I just turned on automatic tree supports and it printed out perfectly. So kudos to Valve for even orienting the print for us. As you can see with these settings here, it took almost 6 hours to print on my Creality K1 Max and around 145 grams of filament. As for the CAD files, you can open them in whatever CAD program you like. I use FreeCAD, but Fusion 360 will probably work just fine. Personally speaking, because of my engineering background, it's much easier for me to modify the CAD file versus the STL. But yeah, I can't praise Valve enough for actually publishing the files. Usually it takes a lot of work from the community afterwards. Purchase a controller, take all the measurements, print, test until you get it just right. And also please bring your hardware officially to Brazil so we don't have to import ourselves. But yeah, I guess that's it for today. See you guys next time.